Good morning and welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have somebody who is just practically delightful in every way. I love hanging around this person. They are pure joy, and I'm talking about the executive director of the Northwest Furniture Bank, Mr. Jeremy Simler. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Especially in this way, on the comfy couch.
There we go. There we
yes. Go. So Northwest Furniture Bank, its impact is undeniable and sometimes unexplainable in this community because it does things that people say couldn't be done. So give us a brief overview of how it started and how we got to where we are today with you, Mr. Executive Director.
Yeah, thank you. Got started 14, 15 years ago with kind of a dream. Wholesale furniture rep. Was watching furniture as it was bought and sold and thinking to himself with his wife at that time, Bill and Jolene Limke, thinking, how do we do this with furniture? And how do we do this in our community that makes an impact that would be greater than something retail, right? So the idea of Northwest Furniture Bank was born. Yeah. Fast forward to today, and that impact is somebody going through a crazy situation, like let's just say domestic violence, something impactful to them. They go through that untold tragedy in their life, come out on the other side. So many amazing organizations in Tacoma work with rehousing our friends, work with getting them into a stable situation of a home, right? But then they walk into that home and they have no place to lay their head. Ugh. They have no place to eat. They have no place to sleep or sit. And that's where Northwest Furniture Bank comes in. So we fill in the gaps, maybe not primarily, certainly not secondarily, sometimes tertiarily we fill in the gap with a place to sit, a place to sleep, and a place to eat for families in our community that don't have it. Yeah. And that's where we are today, serving over 130 to 160 families in Tacoma with a household of furniture. Pierce County and beyond, and then also at our Vancouver location serving somewhere between 30 and 50 families as well. So the impact is undeniable, as you said. The impact is phenomenal, and we're so glad to have a seat in the ecosystem of social services in the Tacoma, Pierce County, and greater area.
Yeah, and Northwest Furniture Bank is one of a kind.
We are.
You are the only one that does what it does the way that it's done in our state. And I'm so glad you mentioned Vancouver, because Vancouver is something that I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Let's start talking about Vancouver, but I also want to make it a little bit bigger about community partnerships. Because I don't know if people know that you have a Vancouver location.
We do have a Vancouver location. Started really 6 months before COVID hit and took us all out. There it was. So we got in right on the cutting edge, right? And then we were shut down. And then since that time, we've just been rebuilding, restabilizing. So exciting to announce that we have a piece of property in Vancouver that we purchased this last year. Yes. So we will be building a Northwest Furniture Bank standalone in Vancouver. Right now we're located just off of Southeast Mill Plain. The property that we purchased is 2 blocks from where we're currently located. So services won't be interrupted. We'll still be able to provide that service to the Vancouver community, the Clark County and greater community down in southwestern Washington. So super excited about that.
And that community is booming down there. It's unbelievable.
It's booming. Yep.
So when you look at Vancouver and then you pull back and think about community partnerships in terms of the standard, and what is a community partner for Northwest Furniture Bank here in Tacoma and also Vancouver, what do you look for?
Oh my goodness, we look for people that are doing the same things that we are. We're looking for partnerships of agencies that are standing in a different gap than we are, right? I mentioned the housing stability, right? Moving a family from some sort of transition in their life into a stable housing situation, right? So we want to partner with that agency that's doing that, right? So I know that our friends from Associated Administrators are coming on next, or maybe in a couple, right? And they're not going to talk about the work that they do in housing stability, but they're going to talk about something different, but they do that work.
They do.
Catholic Community Services does that work. Lutheran Community Services does that work with refugee resettlement in our area right now. So we're seeing a lot of those people coming to Northwest Furniture Bank to receive our services. So those are the kind of partnerships that we're looking for. We also, talking specifically about Vancouver, a growth initiative for us in Vancouver right now is to expand into the schools, the other community service of the churches, community service groups that still have a hand in that work. And so certainly school districts are working with that, and we work with school districts here in Tacoma to make a difference in students' lives as well.
Yeah.
So I know that your life has been impacted by that at one point in time. So
huge impact Northwest Furniture Bank has had on my life and how I see people who have that need. And one of the things that just amazes me is how quickly Northwest Furniture Bank, for its size, can meet those needs.
Yeah.
I mean, Northwest Furniture Bank runs like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. You have some events coming up that support that well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And it usually happens this time of year. Tell us about it.
Yeah. We were laughing in the green room because it seems that we always are on the same kind of cycle as Paint Tacoma, because things happen. Daffodil Parade. We've been on the comfy couch following Daffodil Parade before. Things happen in the spring in Tacoma.
Yep.
Northwest Furniture Bank, in conjunction with the Museum of Glass, our friends there, do an event called Chair Fair coming up in May 9th. And we're so excited. We do it at the Foss Seaport Waterway Museum. Thrilled about that. We're selling tickets right now. We have amazing sponsorships from people in our community. It's going to be a phenomenal event. Live auction. Silent auction starts on May 6th that leads up to that. We have phenomenal prizes. We have wine this year that you would not believe. So we're really, really excited about that. And then we're excited to codify a date in Vancouver where we can reproduce a chair fair in Vancouver, but that will happen in September. So
nice.
So yeah, we're excited about that too, to kind of do the same thing in September, or do the same thing for the community of Vancouver in September. So,
right, absolutely. Yeah. And so tickets are on sale now.
They are.
Get them before
Please
they
do.
sell out.
That's
because
right.
It will sell out.
It does
sells
every
out
year.
every single year. And when you think about the people who have, when Gary and Tim were on the couch, 36 years they've been doing this. Mm-hmm. Jeremy, many people don't know this about you, but you started out in the warehouse.
I did, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
I mean, and you started out from the ground up.
Yeah.
You were the development director for 10 years?
6, 7 years, something like
7 years,
that.
something
Yeah,
like that?
and was in operations before that, and then started just as a program manager doing our spring-back mattress recycling facility, right? And I think where you were leading with that is the gratitude that we have for the people that helped us get started.
Yes.
Bill and Jolene Limke for having this vision 14 or 15 years ago. Certainly community partnerships. I mentioned the Museum of Glass. They do a beautiful chair for us every year that we auction at Chair Fair. Subaru of Puyallup. Like, there are just so many people that have walked alongside us. Seven Seas, got to give a shout out to them because they provide all sorts of libations for our events and partnerships as well. These are communities. They're people in the community, and that's what makes us as strong as we are. Is all the partnerships and the deep relationships that we have with people in our community that help us get to the next side.
So walk me through, let's say that I am somebody who has been referred to you, and I'm getting myself off of the streets and into an apartment. What's the next steps for me? What happens? How do I get into the warehouse? How do I pick out furniture?
Yeah, so typically we'd work through the agency, right? So let's just do our friends at Associated Ministries that are coming up next, right? Associated Ministries would refer you to our team. Our team would then make a call, schedule you, get you an appointment. When you come to the Furniture Bank Tacoma, you would meet with a volunteer shopper, and that volunteer shopper is going to walk you through your specific, you saw a roll of it earlier on the line, you're going to walk through and you're going to pick out your own individual furniture. So you're going to shop for your own furniture.
Wow.
Because we believe there's dignity in that. So individuals will shop for their furniture, and we will either deliver it to your home or you can take it at the time that you leave, right? So that's called a will call. So, so that's what the process looks like. So you're going to go one night and maybe not have some place to sleep or eat or sit, and then the next night you would have furniture in your home.
Boy, that is just, I mean, that is just the icing on the cake, because you and I have had so many conversations about what makes a house a home.
Right.
And what happens at a kitchen table when you have the ability to do your homework, but also to sit with your parent or with your guardian and say, how was your day?
Right.
There's so many things that happen at the kitchen table that if you don't have that, then you don't learn it.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is phenomenal. When you think about the changes that have happened since Bill and Jolene Lemke started this, what's the biggest?
Oh my goodness. I think the biggest change is that we realized that furniture wears out.
Yes.
Right? So this used to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the clients that shopped at the Furniture Bank, partially because we didn't have a name in the community, so we weren't getting furniture in on a regular basis, right? So it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And about, I would say probably 8 years ago or so, we said, well, that's kind of silly. Furniture wears out. The upholstery will wear out. The leather will wear out. The cat's going to use it as a scratching post, right? You're going to have children and they're going to break the frame of the sofa, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the biggest changes that we made was to make sure that people always had access to furniture, regardless of the situation that they were in. So we went away from that moniker of it's a once-in-a-lifetime shopping experience, right, to if you need furniture, just come get furniture.
Just come back.
Just come back.
Make us a part of your family.
That's right. Yep.
Just like the couch is.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't thank you enough for what you do, what your team does. You guys don't ever stop doing what you're doing.
Thank
it
you.
really is a 24/7. So
It is, yeah.
I want to say congratulations on Chair Affair.
Thanks.
Because it's going to be a huge hit. And I want you back on sooner than later so we can talk more about Vancouver and that event coming up in September.
Love it. Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome. In the Cityline Comfort Cafe, yep, you guessed it, the two beauties who are here to talk about Paint Tacoma Beautiful. What a great program it is. We'll learn more after this quick break.